hate television.
Hating television. Girls are hanging out together in a bedroom and I see no evidence of a pillow fight.
And then the phone rang. It was a week ago.
Joan of Arcadia's viewing of the tape just happened to be 1 week ago today. At the precise time, the effects of watching it will give a proper demonstration of its power. 2 minutes after her friend randomly mentioned the rumor she heard about said tape.
There really is a tape.
Or, now get this, someone you might know might be calling you at the ungodly hour of 10 p.m.
Hi, Mom.
Holy it was someone she knew calling her at the ungodly hour of 10 p.m. Even when the demon has a precise killing deadline, it prefers to mess with its victim first before doing the killing. Also, if Katie were outside right now, would the TV turn on by itself, with the static, or with the swimming pool? When the TV turns itself on to static twice in a row, either you done drank too much, or run, bitch!
Becca, quit it!
Teenager blames best friend upstairs for what is clearly an electrical or paranormal phenomenon. Ah! Wait, that's an actor without makeup or CGI to make him look evil? That's just how he naturally looks? Ah! Child in a horror movie draws disturbing things cliché.
Yes, I understand, but these pictures
Or Aiden's way of working it out.
Rachel interrupts the teacher so that the interesting information can be delivered more dramatically. I'm just saying, but Rule 6 here suggests that students in this classroom are walking at all times, as opposed to sitting at their desks listening to the teacher.
Katie knew. She told me.
Wait, Katie told you about this horrific videotape she watched, and she was talking about it like she knew for a fact it was going to kill her? And she told this to her 9-year-old cousin? Maybe she deserved to die. I don't know. Also, considering what we saw at the beginning of the movie, with Katie just chilling with her best bud Becca, does this look like someone who's scared they're going to die at any moment?
Good night, Rachel.
Child calls character we've understood to be his mother by her first name, to further confuse the dynamic cliché.
Have you seen my black dress?
You mean your 9-year-old kid? Sure, he keeps tabs on his mom's black dresses. Aiden's mom walks around the house like this. It's great for us, sure. But the kid? No wonder he draws people buried in the ground all the time. And as it turns out, he did know where the dress was. He even put it out for her, which seems nice until you realize he went into his mother's room and took it without asking or telling her about it. Also, Naomi Watts isn't my girlfriend, wife, or even my mom in this scene.
You alright, Dave?
Sure, just did a wake for my recently deceased daughter. I feel just like that dude in The Sixth Sense.
I saw her face.
What was she doing in a closet?
What tape?
The one that kills you when you watch it.
Oh, please. What was on the tape?
I agree, Rachel. This tape killer seems pretty amusing when you're at a wake for the girl who just died.
Josh, is he here?
Josh is dead.
Information you'd think Katie's mom would have heard about through the normal course of an investigation, but nah. Concerned mother who came up here to retrieve her child will now, after the child has wandered off unattended, spend several minutes exploring the dead girl's bedroom and ignoring her child. Warped faces in a photograph definitely means evil spirits, and not, for instance, a terrible cameraman moving the camera at the time of the picture. Or Photoshop. A lot of the stuff written on this newspaper is a bunch of vague bullshit. This should be a full-blown police investigation at this point, right? You have a girl who died mysteriously, and her secret boyfriend died on the same night, as did 2 other kids. 2 kids that Adam Brody from the OC neglected to mention because it wasn't ready to be revealed in the movie yet. Also, 3 kids from the same high school died on the same night at 10 p.m., and the media doesn't turn that into a full-blown front-page story. What happened yesterday to knock these kids off the front page? Pearl Harbor? Also, did the ghost toy with the other 3 kids like it did with Katie? Or did it actually kill them at precisely 10 p.m.? Because remember, Katie's mom called at 10 p.m., and she was still allowed to live another 5 minutes after that.
You're fired.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I'm cooking too good a story.
About a videotape that kills teenagers when they watch. Oh, I am fired, aren't I? Well, it's not a movie shot in the Seattle area unless there's a helicopter shot establishing a car driving someplace through the woods.
Pick a card. Any card.
Movie tries to make this minor character memorable by having him perform magic.
They were in cabin 12. They didn't pay.
They didn't? How the hell did they get the cabin then?
I'll take cabin 12.
Wait, why does she have to pay to get the cabin if this horrible business doesn't even take payment to rent the cabin in the first place? I love how the videotape killed several kids, and even if they watched it here on the campsite way before dying, they somehow had the presence of mind to return it to the backwoods cabin rental office. Ooh, that was scary, yo. Don't forget to rewind that tape, though, and return it to the office girl. These kids watched this tape in this room and then died. I should definitely watch this tape in this room like they did. Why would a horror ghost with any kind of motive make a movie like this? If you're trying to communicate to people some sort of wrongdoing, don't you make it a straightforward narrative? Kid this young walks to school by himself in downtown Seattle. Hey, I don't know you at all, but one day I will for some reason. Well, good talk. This movie is 15% shots of VHS tapes being shoved into VCRs.
Roll credits.
Did someone say The Ring on that tape?
So, you been working a lot?
The director said, eat the only red apple in this entire fruit bowl. It'll make you look like even more of an asshole. And it rhymes. Angry Ghost left a message, but made sure to do it after intended target left the building. Super curious girl who has been nothing but super curious about her niece's death and its mysterious nature somehow decides not to listen to the haunted answering machine message.
Should be able to see the camera here in the reflection. The angle's straight on, but you don't.
Yeah, but is it impossible this ghost director knew camera tricks?
No, let me do it.
Rachel hired Noah to do this stuff, even chastised him for speaking like a video geek a minute ago, but suddenly thinks she can control the video equipment better than he can. So we're gonna find out in just a second that there's actually someone using this ladder. But for f***ing what? There's no reason any asshole on this earth needs to stick a ladder here, unless they're possessed by demons and need to provide quick symbolism. Whoa, I definitely thought this chick died that first night. Why was she missing from the bedroom when Amber Tamblyn came upstairs?
She'll show you.
Becca, who is totally and completely screwed up after Katie's death, and I can't blame her for anything, except she plays the pronoun game, so Rachel has to ask who she is. That's all.
4 days.
How the f do you know that? You didn't watch the tape. Does knowing someone who died because of the tape give you days until death predicting powers? Not sure about you, but if I saw a fly on my screen moving forward and back in time with the controls, but then was also able to physically pull that fly off the screen, I'd be freaking my out right about now. Also, why are you able to do this now but not earlier? Oh, hey, look! The photographer took a picture of this lighthouse at the exact same angle that the ghost shot her film. Not just content with finding important information at the library, Rachel now scours the internet to find the missing pieces. It's a great 1-2 trope combo. Props to the movie for having an entire article about equestrian here, but or whenever seems like a hugely obvious editor's note that made it into the final copy somehow.
Oh my God.
Rachel types something about horses and obviously sees something dramatic. So why does she now need to go into the archives and find articles about this when she certainly saw the very same stories on the internet? Copies! Excitement! Copies!
You're gonna die. My cousin was 2 packs a day.
Extremely prescient store clerk turns out to simply be a rude store clerk. Oh, she has a kid. I forgot. Just like she did during the last 30 minutes of a movie where she runs around all over the place without any concern for the kid. If there's one flaw in this movie, it's that it tries really hard to explain how important Katie was to Aiden long after she's gone. But before she dies, she never once mentions him. And we never see them together because the movie wanted to start off with that 5-minute creepy opening. That's totally fine, just know that relationship is pretty ill-defined. Why is this ghost Freddy Kruegering before the deadline? What a dick. What compelled this dickhead to find some random tape and watch it? No. So why did you leave this tape lying around? Why did you even keep it? And even if you were going to keep the tape, knowing what you do with its creepy power, why wouldn't you lock it up or hide that or something? I mean, you're screaming here, completely horrified this kid has seen the tape, but it's all your fault, babe, 100%.
I couldn't sleep.
So I found the most random VHS tape I could find and plugged it in. No big whoop. Now you get the sense that the only reason he watched the tape was so that Rachel could be sufficiently motivated to figure out how to beat it. In a weird way, endangering her son's life helps save her. Protagonist answers phone and says crazy to someone who has no idea what's going on cliché.
He watched the tape.
Rachel plays the pronoun game so that the guy from Britney Spears' Toxic video has to ask who the hell he is.
Who watched it?
Her son.
Dun dun dun! But also, wasn't that already obvious?
Rachel and I were...
Young. Mom's told me that story.
But you're goddamn 7 years old. Why would she have told you the story about her friends with benefits f***s?
Before you die, you see the ring.
Roll credits sin completely lost its thunder when the guy from Torque said it earlier. Animals know something is f***ed up cliché.
Somebody!
Yeah, that usually works. Rachel graduated top of her class from the Prometheus School of Running Away from Things. When the horse died, it saw the ring.
Did you see the records for a patient named Anna Morgan?
Sure thing. What do you need? Medical history? X-rays? Got a great picture of her boobs if you need it. Okay, so the guy told you the records room was downstairs, but you made the huge leap that they were in this room marked ECPH Station D. That's some super sleuthing. Well, I guess she hitched a ride out here. So how does she hope to get back? Whenever no one answers the door at a farm, it's customary to wander around said farm like a nosy tabloid reporter. Movie has the constant need to show you what everything is in relation to that videotape. Well, it's a movie in the early aughts, so I'm guessing this old man is played by Brian Cox, who set the world record for being in everything back then. You say he wasn't in Josie and the Pussycats? Think again, f***os, he's there. You're just not looking hard enough.
I don't breathe anymore.
Vasectomies will do that to you.
I think it's a message from your wife.
Jesus, Rachel definitely doesn't believe in easing someone into a tough conversation, does she? Terrible babysitter somehow manages to answer the phone while also missing the last 2 hours of psychotic images her charge has been drawing.
Aiden, why did you draw that house?
She told me to.
God damn it, the pronoun game is fucking insane in this movie.
She shows me things.
Why does Samara show you things? Fucking why? Why are you the conduit for a little girl in a tape that you didn't see until yesterday?
She lives in a dark place now.
Also known as The Well, but it sounds scarier this way. Also, I am now going to forget that Samara shows you things and go about this investigation without asking any further questions, because convenience to the plot.
See, when you live on an island, you catch a cold. It's everybody's cold.
I'm just gonna let Naomi Watts in that.
No offense, ma'am, but what the hell does that mean?
You try and walk out of here with my file, and I'll be on you like white on rice.
That's racist. Luckily, Noah's found a guy in this hospital who not only knows his story is bullshit, but still allows him to watch the video anyway, because jobs. Let me ask this. Noah watched the videotape. Why did the ghost call Rachel's landline, instead of just calling him directly on his cell phone? Furthermore, this brings up another question. What if there is no telephone around when you watch the tape? No one answered my knock? Well, I'll just come in. I'm entitled. Luckily for the plot of this movie, the tape Noah was looking for just happens to be sitting completely ejected in full view so that Rachel can find it. Jump scare centipede. Rachel also decides, F it. I'll just watch the tape right here in the guy's living room. He's definitely not here because he didn't answer my knock earlier. So, movie inspires Paranormal Activity several years later.
Daddy loves the horses.
God, holy Jesus balls, that scared the shit out of me. If you have to do a jump scare, that is how you do a jump scare. Now I need to go clean my pants and take 1 cent off.
He doesn't know what, Samara?
Doctor turned off the camera for some reason during this extremely crucial moment. Here you see a woman run up the stairs after an insane man who just hit her over the head with a thing, because that is just what you do in such situations, I suppose. Didn't she just get hit really hard in the head? No concussion or scar or anything? This is an orgy of evidence that this kid lived in a horror kid bedroom cliche. It manages to combine the rocking horse and the music box carousel thing all into one.
Rachel.
I think this might be blood, so I'm gonna touch it. Oh yeah, that etching in the wood is totally exactly the same as the bruise on my arm.
Shelter Mountain.
Weird. I wonder what day it... Oh, thanks. Noah gets mad about the lack of clues, rips the phone out of the wall, and creates an instant clue. That's basically an accident ex machina right there, folks. Who built this shit? The same people who built the houses in Poltergeist? Hey guys, let's build a cabin completely over this old well. I mean, why not? At least baby Jessica can't get in anymore. I guess Samara couldn't do any of this shit before because, after all, there was a wooden floor built over the well. Wood is amazing at stopping paranormal activity. Yeah, no, she's dead. Rachel gets knocked unconscious by her fall, but somehow was able to hold her breath at the same time to avoid drowning, which is by rule a conscious decision. Has anyone in the history of film grabbed a fire hose and taken off running without running out of hose and falling hilariously? I'm being serious here, people. More no.
Isn't it beautiful here, Samara?
I realize you want to give the audience this information, but are you telling me Rachel fell 19 stories into a well, survived, and then had flashbacks of this memory that is not hers? Holy shit, you are saying that's what happened. Rachel saw this decomposed body as a fully preserved human being for some reason. Feel free to make your jokes about Larry King here. Wait a minute, didn't the stone lid to the well cover the opening by itself a minute ago? And didn't it take both of them pushing with all their might to get it off in the first place? Did Noah study gamma radiation with Bruce Banner?
It's over.
Probably not. I'll admit to completely forgetting what was going on with this little demon child within the movie, but knowing this is how he's found makes me extremely satisfied.
We set her free.
You helped her?
God damn it, kid. If you knew this would be a bad thing, why didn't you warn your mom about it? Why didn't you explain she was evil? Apparently, any old ring will do when it comes to your inevitable death.
Pick up the phone, Noah.
After all, you definitely don't have a cell phone I could call you on during this emergency. No one who dies in this movie owns a goddamn answering machine. Rachel prefers the I'm going to take in every last detail before confirming my baby daddy is dead method of discovery. Trust the filmmakers here. It's scarier if you don't see what made her scream.
Go to your room! Now!
Was there no babysitter here? I mean, Jesus. Isn't this kid way too young to be a latchkey child? How the did she suddenly sense there was another videotape nearby?
What about the person we show it to? What happens to them?
Samara basically invented the first successful chain letter with this f***ing video. Also, since when did Samara, from the grave, enter images onto a VHS tape and hope for someone to watch it one day, and hope for someone to catch all these clues before 7 days were up, and figure out they needed to copy the tape to live, and, I mean, damn, that is a lot of work for a dead girl. Movie ends on an editing-based jump scare. The guy who would bring you Pirates of the Caribbean next year. Of course.
And we're sending our love down the well, all the way down.
Seven days.
7 days is all she wrote. The kind of ultimatum note she gave to me.
I just got out of a 6-year relationship, okay? That should help explain why I'm acting so weird. I just wanted you to know that. It's not you, it's me. I'm sorry.
I believe you.
Okay, I believe you.
You've disappeared. Like everything else. Who else can I talk to? I'm lost.
First, take a big step back and literally f your own face!
Precinct 6, Sergeant Allgood.
Hello. Look, a man is assaulting a woman at 125 West 9th Street.
The future is a butt that farts horror. This is the story of a cat who lives with a young woman in a trailer park not too many years from now. The young woman is named Zoe Ash, and her cat smells like a dumpster behind a seafood restaurant on a hot summer day. One day, a little hologram man tells Zoe that some bad men are coming to kill her. These men can do magic using technology because it is the future and such things are possible. Zoe and her smelly cat must travel to a strange land called Utah, in which many people are dying in exotic and gruesome ways. Now, I don't want to spoil too much of the story, so let's just say that things only get weirder from there. Will Zoe find a way to save mankind from itself? And will she do it in time to be back at work for her Monday morning shift at the cafe? Or will both Zoe and her cat be horribly murdered by cyborgs? You will have to buy this book to find out. Futuristic Violence and Fancy Suits, a novel by New York Times best-selling author David Wong. You can find it wherever books like this are sold, or just go to futuristicviolence.com and order it that way. It's even available as an audiobook if you think reading is stupid. The book has been called subtly brilliant by Publishers Weekly, and Booklist calls it explosive, smart, and witty. Futuristic Violence and Fancy Suits is an adventure suitable for all ages, except for children who will be traumatized.